Hey guys, so in this video I would like to show you a method of placing your pole vector for IK handles. So here we have our joints and they are now on a plane. What does it mean that they are on the plane? And this is the IK handle as well on that plane. That means that if I create a plane basically like this, what that means is that those three joints, they're all on this plane. You see what I mean? So that's really cool, because now if I were to create like some kind of a pole vector and use a locator for that, that locator is also on that plane. And because it's on that plane, as long as it's on it, and the plane is infinite, it's not just this square, it just goes like this. Then if I create it, constraint pole vector, you see that there's no movement here. So this is still within that plane and it works perfectly, right? Now, if I make my pole vector and it's not on the same plane as those joints, what's happening here is when I create the pole vector, the whole thing moves. And this is a common problem that many students have issues with. And to illustrate it better is, what if my joints are actually not on the plane? Maybe what if there's something like this going on? You know, and sometimes, or for example, maybe more like that, right? You have a leg like this. And it's fine, sometimes you have to have it in your rigs. But in this case, it's not really gonna work the same way, because look what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna create an IK handle now. And that's all good. But now if I use that pole vector, which is on this plane, what's going to happen is this is going to move now. And this is a common problem. So the question is, how do I find the plane for those joints? And you can do this. You can do this obviously if you just, if you model a plane manually. If you create something like this, and then you can just actually snap those there, and then you're gonna snap that here. But then it's hard to so this is the plane, but like we can't really easily scale it and extend it. Like you'd have to know how to which direction to move that point in. And if I center pivot of this, when I'm scaling it, it might be possible this way. So then if you just snap your locator to that plane somewhere, and there is like snap to surface, I believe, or you can make that surface live, but this is pretty good. Let's see if that works now. Constraint pole vector, and so that works, right? So that's one way you can do it if you just do this via modeling, but I don't trust this technique. I haven't really done it this way.
If you're enjoying this video, make sure to check out my Patreon and website. I offer even more in-depth tutorials, many of them free, but the best and most exclusive content is on Patreon. There, I share my game development journey and create regular rigging and character game dev courses. By supporting me, you're helping me create more quality content, and we both win. Visit my website at Cornica3D or join me on Patreon, patreon.com/Cornica3D. Thanks for your support.
The better technique here is to do this trick with a locator, which you create like an extra locator, and then you can just grab it and constrain it between the two joints like this with point constraint. And you can then aim it at the knee. So you grab this, you grab that, and you go constraint aim. So actually first you grab the knee, then the locator. Constraint aim, Now you can reset settings, no offset. And now this locator is aiming at the knee, you can see. So if you want to find where to put your pole vector, you need another locator, like a child locator. And you parent it under that one that's aiming. You zero it all out. And now this is where your pole vector can be, along this line. If you move it just in X, along this axis, this is where your pole vector can be. With this technique, you can also do adjustments to your point constraint. If you just want it more like this or more like that, that's also where your pole vector can be. So you're defining that plane with this technique. Let's say I want my pole vector to be there. So what do? Well, I'll just snap it there. I can delete my system or hide it for now. And let's see. I select this and this. Constraint pole vector, and you see it didn't budge. So that means that it's on the same plane as the joints. Now again, if I just do something like this and try to eyeball it, oh yeah, looks cool. And then I do the pole vector, it is gonna move. And that's the problem with a lot of student tricks. So this is the trick that you will use from now on, and it will bring you glory and success in all your rigging endeavors.